In the last video, I spoke on, well, big old edit, but I spoke on what it means to me when people use, derogatory terms. I myself, openly identify as pansexual, and that's far beyond the point. My point is people don't take seriously the things that they say. Like, people say, well, I use the word faggot as, how, and I know this is probably a crude example, how African American people greet each other or by their own words. You can't make it, and I know people detest this fact, but you can't compare racial politic to it's almost like comparing religious parties to political parties. It's a different dimension. And if you sit there and you honestly think that by allowing, people allowing each other to call each other those things, it isn't right. So, based on that TikTok, I would like to start a series. I know my channel is tiny, but I'm proud that people actually want to hear what I have to say. I want to shed light on a lot of things, especially as a member of the community, both local and, the LGBT community. Just shed the light that people are not willing to talk about, you know what I mean? Like, we'll be covering eventually what transgender means to me, what my experiences, if people want to know about me and more about me, I can do a video on that. But the main focus is I want to focus on these political points, you know what I mean? And I call them political points, but I'm not taking it from a political standpoint. I'm taking it from a personal standpoint. And people say that's dangerous when you're addressing these topics. I don't think it's dangerous. Are people going to get offended? Of course. People always get offended. It's how you react to the offense. See, most people would sit there, well, you're getting offended. Obviously, you're wrong. Well, no, they're getting offended because they're not used to hearing that. A lot of people get offended because they're hearing things that they don't hear on a daily basis. Now, shedding some light on these things on a daily basis allows people to adapt their mind to be able to take, different things like that. The same way I've adapted in my life, taking the scrutiny, the criticism that I've consistently endured over my short 18 years of life. Now, the main point I want to cover today is simply kind of just, reflecting on last video. So, as you can see, I was doing a lot of research on just what that word meant, and then I looked inside myself and I said, well, what does this word mean to me? Personally, it doesn't offend me. I've been called it a million times in high school. Is that a good thing? Absolutely not. But this is the thing, we're becoming solely like tough skin to things like that. Now, when it comes negatively, tough skin is obviously, recommended. But when it comes to, oh my God, like somebody going, oh my God, you're such a effing faggot. Like, it's just like that little awkward moment where it's like, okay, not sure how to take that, but I'm going to retort with something else. These are the general responses that I've heard and seen. Now, when it comes to other words, and there's a million out there, I myself have been called, I've been called a faggot, I've been called, I've even been called a butch, and that's usually used towards lesbians, from From what I've researched and what I've seen, it's usually towards lesbians that they use that. But the point is ignorance is bliss. People find that being ignorant simply shields their eyes from the bigger picture and allowing themselves to feel. They believe by being ignorant, they disallow themselves from being emotionally attached to the situation. And that's the main issue, is people generally triggering others without emotionally attaching themselves to how they feel. And I have pretty much no more choices but to go into politics. Again, in politics, we have plenty of examples. You know, the whole situation with Pulse nightclub. You know, you got people that don't know the people that are involved, and yet they just hate them because they want to be who they are. It scares people. It scares people that I'm speaking as a community, we have found something that might be who we are, and that scares them. It scares people, it makes them insecure, and that's the main issue, is insecurity. Rather than having people feel insecure, we should have it so that they can feel more involved. You know what I mean? Like I was saying, you know, when it comes to getting tough skin to certain things, getting used to things on a daily basis, involving the heterosexual community in, you know, gay agendas. Right, gay agendas. You know what I mean? I'm saying you as in, you know, as in the viewer, of course. But the point is involving, I believe, you know, and I say heterosexuals in general because I don't want to misgender anyone, you know, be like, oh, you only said he or she. Right. And we'll get into neo-pronouns eventually, probably in the next video. But the main thing is involving the heterosexuals in our agenda gives a sense of a calm, almost. Like, give the example. The lunchroom, everybody's got their cliques, right? And there's that one outcast. I don't care where you're at. There's probably an outcast just sitting around. Go sit with that guy. Bet you he's a cool kid. Bet you he'll even tell you why he sits alone. Or she. Whatever. But I bet you they'll tell you why they sit alone. Mainly, 9 times out of 10, I find it that they don't want to fall into the cliques. They want to form their own thing. That right there is somebody you want to hang around with. That, my viewers, is a leader. Generally, when it comes to school, going along with the school topic, schools technically have different herds of sheep of different colors. I'll use colors for example. Say the pinks over there, those are the preppy girls. Say you got the greens over there, those are the jocks, you know what I mean? You get what I'm getting at. So, the point is it takes but one person to say, you know what? I don't want to have to pick a color. Why don't I create my own color? Why don't I do this? And that's precisely what we're doing. But we got to involve everybody else. I mean, if we're going to talk about equality, we got to practice what we preach. We got to involve and involve, you know what I mean? Evolve and evolve as a community and say, you know what? We're going to break these stigmas. The people that tell us that, hey, you know, I thought this about gay people, but you know what? You guys proved me wrong. I appreciate you guys. I support you. And that's true support. It's proving people wrong by involvement. Same as family. Say you have a cousin who isn't really invited too much and he's, you know, more indoorsman. You know what? Take the party to them. Imagine. Involvement. It really changes people. So, that's all the time I have for today. I hope you got something out of this. Like, share, comment, favorite, hit the bell, whatever the hell it is they ask for these days.